what comes after Gen Z, Generation Alpha. So
73 is millennial, right? Is that what we are?
No, we're Gen
73?
X.
No.
You're
Gen X.
But be thankful we're not baby boomers.
Yeah.
Still called boomers.
Yes.
Yeah. It's anybody older than Gen Z, they call boomers. So.
Yes, yeah, that's how they operate. Fucking troublemakers.
Fuck they. Assholes.
All right, should we start up a show?
No, god damn it. I'm having fun.
701, 801. Yeah,
Someone's got the outline open. I can see him in his little hat. So we're good to go.
So I'm typing all his sad little games, college football. Just kidding. Hinterberg, I want to try.
No spoilers. All right, I'm counting this in 5, 4.
New theme song.
If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still Got Game, episode 529. Still Got Game's official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Chris Selden, 007 Selden.
And I'm Brian Shadow Emmerich.
And you thought we were gone, but we're fucking back. We had a few weeks off.
Can't get rid of us that easy.
Some scheduling things.
It's been like 2 months, I think.
No, it's very. Our episode was supposed to be at the beginning of August, and now it's towards the end of August. So about 3 weeks were missed. They were sad 3 weeks, but we're back.
Yeah.
All your favorite antics. I'm gonna yell later. I'm gonna start slurring my words. Shadow's gonna have orange hair at some point, and then Selden is probably going to be on the receiving end of some jokes.
Curl up in the corner to cry.
Yeah. So
Selden's going to have no hair at one point.
Yeah, his toupee fell off before the show.
So going to buy a wig one of these times and wear it on.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Please do.
Yes.
If people, you have to watch the video to see this.
Yes, that would increase our video count.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah. And you could, like, over time, build up your arsenal, and people be like, I wonder which wig Selden's wearing tonight. And it could be, like, the carrot top red hair wig, or it could be, like, the spiky, like, 80s rocker.
And he's just, like, wearing it, like, pretending like nothing's
big deal.
Yep. We don't talk about it at all.
Nope.
Like, and you just have to see it.
Yep. See, Selden, we got a plan now. Think of this for Halloween, and then
there you go.
Buy costumes that you can reuse those things. That way, it's within your budget. You know,
there's that idea.
Your son probably has old costumes you could try.
That's true too. Yeah, go through your costume bucket.
My costume bucket.
Your costume bucket.
You don't have a tub, like a Rubbermaid tub with all the old Halloween costumes?
No, we throw that stuff away.
We keep it because you never know. You can reuse parts in different other costumes.
You must have really shitty costumes if you're throwing them away.
Yeah.
You get like quality stuff that you can wear again.
Yeah.
I have like a jumpsuit that I have, just like a real dickie that I used for Michael Myers costume.
Nice.
It's like
just
a real
throw
thing.
The mask on and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Easy costume. It looks good.
Yep. See Selden. Later on, we'll be doing Halloween costumes with Shadow and D Smooth.
Yeah.
That's our spin-off podcast. So
yes. When I walked around with the kids trick-or-treating, I was too busy drinking to worry about a costume.
No. Well, you
guys got beer in there. I'll take a beer.
No. Well, we give out drinks to adults at our house, so yeah, it checks out. All right. Well, why don't we just jump into the show here? Getting the show proper. If you're in chat right now, you want us to discuss something, just drop it in the chat, and we'll try to work it into the show to the best of our ability. So on that, why don't we just jump right into the mailbag for feedback and questions from a month ago. I didn't even update these because I had 4, and I was like, awesome. I don't need to work on that today. So first off, ZZYZXNV comments. I absolutely cannot get enough of your show. During downtime, I started working my way through back episodes. Code Monkey is hilarious. Well, Nice
Good
to
thing
compliment
Code Monkey's coming back. Keep listening.
Yeah, you just have to wait 71 more episodes. Yeah. But glad you're working your way through the back episodes. I know some of the earlier ones were lost because Jay didn't use a quality hosting site. They were put on the Wayback Machine directly. And that's where the original shows were streamed from. So somewhere I have a hard drive with them downloaded, but that's in a tub of probably, I would say, 60 to 70 hard drives, and I'm not sure which one it's on. So it would take me some time to find that. But yeah, whenever I change out PCs, I take the old drives, and I don't want to throw them in the trash or recycle them because someone can get your shit off them. So I just store them forever in perpetuity. So.
Well,
you're also missing a couple episodes from the DMCA takedowns from the music, right?
Well, that's only on Spotify. Yes, that we had. That was we had some DMCA takedowns from that little 20 seconds of music I put at the end of the show was enough for them to be like, "Oh, you're."
I actually just got a takedown in some foreign country on one of my YouTube videos, one of my World of Tanks streams. I guess one of the songs on the stream, some foreign countries like, I think that's our song now. I don't think.
Okay, that's why. Okay,
yeah, it wasn't for
other
various purposes. Yeah,
no. You should send that whole tub to me, and I'll just go through them sometime when I'm free. And then when I'm done with each one, I'll check them, and then I'll run a drill through each one and just toss them.
Yeah, they say that works, but it's those are still comebackable. I've seen it on crime shows
because somebody's concerned about
it. Yeah,
you.
They should be. I am Derek D. Smooth. You forgot. True. Yes, yeah. I say it at the beginning of the show, and the end of the show, the middle of the show. I remind people. So yeah.
When Derek walks into the office, he's like, "Hey, D. Smooth is here."
People say that they're just like, "D. Smooth, what's up?" Saw the show.
We got it was great. We got to chainsaw this drive, cut it into 4 pieces, take them to the 4 corners of the earth separately, and then
throw them in.
Even that's not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough to stop his fanboys from trying to reconstruct.
Yep.
Thank you, ZZYZX.
Yeah.
Keep enjoying the show.
All right. Next up, Fart Partner asks, with the demise of the Xbox 360 store, do you think we'll see new, enhanced versions of some of those games coming to the latest generation?
Absolutely. They're going to recycle the old stuff and sell it for twice as much as it was and make some money on it. So yeah, I think we will.
I think that out of the 3 hosts who are shaking their heads one direction and Selden is shaking his head vertically. I don't see this happening.
Especially with AI implementation, they could take that old code, throw it through AI, upgrade it, and push it back out. Yeah, that's
exactly what developers want. And they still have to relicense those things if they're going to re-release them. So I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Maybe first-party titles, like what was the Zumba? Maybe the stuff that used to be at Xbox Live Arcade. Maybe that stuff that was first-party. But even then, I don't see, like, who's going to buy that shit?
Yeah, they have to have a reason for it. They have to have a reason for it money-wise. I think everything they were going to do, they've done. They've done enhanced. A lot of them enhanced. Anything else they couldn't do was because of licensing, and they're never going to do. They're never going to try to get licensing for this old stuff that nobody's going to buy anyway.
Yeah.
I just don't see the point. I mean, there might maybe one-off here and there for depending, like you said, certain legacy things that are internal that they want to move forward, and they want to make like a pack of like all of them. But I think if they want to do that, they've already done it. What they're going to do.
I could see maybe a first party Xbox Live Arcade classics remastered, and then you would get, what was the game that everybody played, and it was like
Geometry Wars?
Yeah, see, that's all I had to say, and you knew exactly what it was. Geometry Wars was the fucking tits. And
that game.
Wars 2, yes, so yeah, I could see all those first party ones coming back in remastered and maybe in a single pack for maybe
like an Atari 50th anniversary, but now the Xbox 50th anniversary.
Kind of like that.
With the history of the Xbox.
Well, we're already at 24 years here, so yeah, time's flying. They could do a 25th anniversary pack. So
yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen though. Fart Partner. And just out of curiosity, like, so like someone farts and you're just like, oh, you're good.
Bless you.
Yeah.
or you bless it. Yes. I guess
You
there's
say,
lots of ways to
"Excuse
say
me."
pardon.
You say excuse me, and then they pardon you for your fart.
All right.
That's cool. No problem.
Yep. All right. Next up,
Thank you.
our favorite to compete with Alteus.
Oh, yes.
CharismaDevil asks, with the closure of Game Informer, does this serve as a canary for the remaining print media gaming news outlets?
Okay, so that is a good question.
That is.
I like that question. That's a great question. Do that.
Yeah, that's much better than whatever the last one was that we kind of said do better for. But yeah, this is a great question. Well, I'll tell you, I was directly affected by this because every year when I pull up the new releases for each show, I would go to GameInformer.com/2023, GameInformer.com/2024, and they would have the release calendar for the whole year with little month click downs, and I'd go through there, and that's when I'd pick the good games, and then Shadow would go back and pick the shit games and add to the list. But I went there that day, and I hadn't seen the news story yet, and then it brought me to that, like, we've deleted all of our content. There's nothing here anymore. Obviously it was like a apology written by AI because it was just didn't seem natural.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think, when's the last time either of you guys read a physical game magazine?
1987.
So I listened to the podcast, and they were really trying to hawk it recently, like, hey, $19.91 for a whole year because of our 35th anniversary or whatever it was.
Okay.
It's like, okay, well, so I ordered it for my son so he could have a magazine because he doesn't have any and he'd like it. So he got it, and he got the first like 3 issues, and then they're gone.
Yep.
And then the last one came like a week after they shut down because they were already printed, so they just shipped them out anyway. So he has like 4 copies. So I didn't read it, but he did, and he liked it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could be that it's just GameStop is having problems.
Yes, and that's an easy cut for them. That's like, oh, we don't have to close our stores or stop selling used games or this or that because we can make this up by just shutting down our online and media outlet. So,
but how much does that really save them? You know,
print is expensive. That's why a lot of people have gone out of print. They could have just left the website up. They didn't have to delete the website either. Like, whatever their traffic hosting costs cannot be that much. They could have just left that archive content, because they end up screwing all their writers, because now these people that thought they're looking for a new job, hey, here's a sample of my work, and go back and look at Game Informer and over all these years. And and a friend of mine, Brian Shea, was one of their editors, higher end editors. We met him at PAX East 2010. Tiff had worked with him on her side site Rock Band Aid, which was like a rock band related site. And he moved out to Minnesota, worked there as a writer, and then moved up to editor-in-chief, and then this happened. So yeah, I had plenty of friends who I saw on the Twitters and the you name it's lamenting this, but I just don't see why they had to delete everything.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have left the online magazine up. I mean, that is a lot less time consuming because the cost of mailing these magazines, I know it's bulk rate or whatever they get, but it still adds up over the time. But this is with all print media. This isn't just gaming media. I mean, there's so many magazines that have gone out that are no longer you can't go into Borders anymore or Barnes and Noble and pick, there used to be a freaking wall of magazines.
But at
now
the same
you
time,
can get like 6.
There's still a shitload. Like, you go to the airport and you go in the little place with the food and the snacks and the drinks, and they still have like a wall of magazines. And I think it's just they're less targeted and more mass market magazines that still exist. It's not these niche things. Like, I remember when the Robb Report went away, ROBB Report. It was like a magazine for people and trying to sell you private jets and yachts and sports cars, and so I would always pick up a copy of that before I got on the airplane. And
for when you're going to buy your yacht.
Well, you never knew,
sure.
but the magazine was priced that way too. That was like a $20 magazine.
Whoa!
This was Derek's ploy. He would buy one of these magazines and sit in the airport looking through it. And people were like, "Ooh, who's that? Look, he's gonna buy. I wonder how many yachts he has."
He's reading the Rob report. Yes,
like worth the price of admission just to get those looks.
So, and coincidentally, once we moved to Acton, or the town we previously lived in, all of a sudden I was driving down one of the roads and there was the headquarters of the Rob report. So,
oh. Well, I don't know. I mean, there are, like you said, I think they're less targeted now. They're more broad, and whatever's out there is like
Time,
type
Newsweek,
stuff, and
that kind of shit. Yeah.
Also the tabloids and the stuff that's just like random travel, like magazines that you might get when you're going on a trip and you're
Monday
in
Night
an
Traveler.
airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that, and maybe cooking. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
but
cooking
other
stuff.
than that,
I do see cooking stuff still, like
Martha
the Food
Stewart's
Network magazine, Martha Stewart.
Yeah,
Living.
stuff like that.
It's just gaming's probably too niche, and people don't go to print now. Like if you're gaming,
it's too fast.
You're just on your PC, and you need that thing. You can't wait a month to hear about a game and the reviews on it. Like you need it day and date so that you can go out and buy it day and date. So
I think it kind of made itself out of existence because you if you're into that type of stuff, you're into being online and not into, like you said, waiting for a while or like looking at print. You're looking at stuff on your computer. So, but you could have just an online magazine and have it just be completely online and just have ads, which they did, I'm sure. But just to completely take it down, I mean, they could have had an archive of it. They could have still sold some ads for the archive because, like you said, people still go there for a bunch of stuff. You could have done so many things, and they just like, I don't care, just shut it off.
Fortune burn.
And then
whoever was running it didn't understand. No, exactly.
Yeah, but do you feel burnt that you paid for a year and got 4 issues? Like now they've taken your cash and run. I'm like,
I mean, they said, oh, you could check for a refund. I'm like, I got 4 issues or whatever, and it's what, like, it can't for $19. I mean, that's $5, not even $5 an issue. Like, it's fine, but yeah, it just still sucks. So
I have to say, I do miss the days of when, like, the Xbox magazine used to get the demo disc, or PC Mag, you get the demo discs in there.
That was
like they actually come with a CD and content with it that you could play. I was
and
like,
you could
that was back when there wasn't DLC, so you couldn't get it anywhere else.
And you could open up official Xbox magazine and read about tooltoplay.com. Yeah, those were the days.
But now, it's gone.
You didn't know this?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were in Xbox official Xbox magazine multiple times.
Nice.
That's where the term Timmy's was originally broadcast out to the world in a
Timmy's.
Yes. So
no more Timmy's. No one has open mics anymore.
No, nobody cares to talk. They just text. Yep.
They all use the Discords for their private chats.
Oh, yes. They go private. Yes.
Yeah. Good question.
Yeah. CharismaDevil, you stepped it up.
Yes.
Way to go.
10 out of 10 stars.
You may become our last questioner soon if Alteus can't step it up. Like, we'll move him up to slot 3. But, I'm just saying, Alteus.
I'm not saying that, Alteus.
Clocking. Yep.
No, I'm not saying that.
All right. And last but not least, for now, Alteus asks, Xbox seems to focus more on Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show for huge announcements now that E3 is gone. Do you think they would benefit from having big booths and showcasing content directly to U.S. consumers at the PAX events? Well, this is what they used to do at the PAX events, and then they stopped doing it.
So I would say no, probably.
Yeah,
I don't think that anyone's benefiting from that anymore, unfortunately, even though you loved them. You loved all those shows so much, but I don't know that it's doing much for them.
But they still invest a shitload. Like, I remember reading something that this year was their biggest booth ever at Gamescom, which is a show that goes to journalists as well as, consumers. And maybe it's just the fact that they have to pitch harder to German consumers and to Japanese consumers, and they're willing to put the money there. But I don't understand why they wouldn't try to cater to these giant audiences at the PAX events here in the US. But I guess they've done it in the past.
I'm going to see Xbox starting to take a more aggressive step at these kind of shows, possibly because of all the studios that they've acquired. Now going cross-platform with all their content, they got to start advertising to the other platforms what's coming to them. So they got to get to the PlayStation guys and say, hey, this is what we're offering you. Some of our titles that used to be exclusive, but now they're cross-platform. They're coming to you. Yep. And like Indiana Jones is going to be a perfect example. If they don't showcase that multi-platform at a game show like PAX, I'm like, they'd be stupid. So
no, yeah, I guess that's true. Like, I guess at the time that they started like winding down their appearance, it was when Game Pass was out, and like it's like, well, why are we having a big booth when everybody already buys our shit anyway, and through Game Pass, and they get it for free, and so why advertise? But now with the multi-platform thing, maybe they do need to get back out there and have a booth and show people what's coming everywhere. So
does it maybe cost them less to do those shows than it would here for some reason? I don't know. But
that's another thing. Yeah, maybe it costs a lot less to. You don't have union people that have to set up the booths and all this kind of shit. Like you just hire some kids off the street in Germany and you're like, make our booth, and they're like, yes.
I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but if it is, I mean, it could be partially, or also, I mean, game at PAX. I haven't been to PAX, but is PAX more just kind of general stuff, and also games are there? Because Gamescom and Game Show are games.
Yeah, Penny Arcade Expo is about half games and about half the other kind of games, tabletops,
board and RPGs.
Yeah, like the nerd games. But half
it's
of
like
it is
C2E2
the cool games.
kind of.
Yeah. I was like, C2E2 in Chicago. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So it's that same sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know. I was surprised when they all left PAX, but yeah, maybe because of these bigger presences at Gamescom and TGS, maybe I don't know why, Alteus. I'm just gonna say it's possible.
It could also be that they're going to the Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show because they want to get a better foothold in those markets, Europe and Asia.
That's true too.
And whereas in America, they may be comfortable where they are with the foothold that they have here. So maybe they're okay with the market share that they have in the United States, but they still want to get a better market share over in Europe and Tokyo. So that's why they've been focusing on those shows.
I mean, they can go there and try to bring more people in, being there in person, and they can still broadcast it, and everyone else in the US can watch that. So whether or not they're there may not even matter.
It's not like limited by country where you can watch it.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you can still see it, and it's whether, if you weren't going to go to E3 anyway, if there's still an E3 and you're watching a video, you don't really care where it is. It's just a video.
You're just getting that, but it's like watching the game showcase or any of those things.
Yeah.
You don't care.
Exactly. I mean, the Nintendo Directs, those are just pre-recorded stuff, and they have those all the time. So it doesn't matter where they're from. So if you weren't going to go anyway, then you don't care where the video is coming from. And if you want to learn more about those things in person at these other countries, it could help. Could help more than would help here. And it might also cost them less. I don't know. It could or could not. I'm not sure.
Know.
Yep.
All right. Well, great questions, everyone. And if you have any questions or comments like these folks, including CharismaDevil and Alteus, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And on that, why don't we hop on over into what we're playing? Selden, what have you been playing this week?
Oh, I've been playing nothing this past week. I've been on the road for the most of the time, so really Pogo actually came back on. Pokemon Go, I kicked that back onto the phone since we were traveling in new areas and my kids were playing it. So I jumped back in, did a couple raids, spun a little stops.
Sure you did. Yeah.
So many new Pokemon out there, man. I don't know, Derek. You might want to get back in.
No,
they got all kinds of new things. They got they got quest lines. They got
just get back in, Derek. just one hit. Just one hit.
One hit. Come on.
So that's a life sink. Now, granted, you go outside more than I do. So when I used to play from the car. which was a much more complex move, especially since I was playing 2 accounts on 2 phones. But yeah, I can't get back into that crack. No.
Yeah, no, we went back to Ohio, visit my family, and then we drove down to Florida. So we drove through and stopped at North Carolina. So got a bunch of pogo in playing that. Hit a bunch of places I hadn't hit before. So I thought, hey, I might as well join. But prior to that, before we started our little road trip across the East Coast, playing a lot of college football 25. Really enjoying that still. I picked up and started playing First Ascendants. It's a free to play game. It's very Halo Destiny like with the quest lines and stuff like that. I actually really enjoying it. It's third person, so Derek was. You might as well just go ahead and ignore
just
this game.
Delete the internet. Yeah,
But I highly suggest. I mean, it's a free game. It's cross-platform, so if you pick it up on the Xbox, your same account will be there on your PC if you jump over there. But it's really well done, I think, for a free-to-play third-person shooter. So having a lot of fun with that. So
a do shooter, if you will.
You can say that, I guess, but I'm not going
comments.
to. But in my downtime, just to relax, I have been kicking it in Hinterberg still, exploring the dungeons and playing that game. So that's really well done too. So quality games being played by me right now. So
yeah, I still have to try that. I will though.
Well, what else have you been playing there?
Me, I haven't been playing that yet, but I will. So Forza Horizon 4. Those of you who don't know, I've talked about it previously, but they were taking down the monthly seasons that it's been going on since it's been out. So it's, I don't know, 2018 or something. And they were like, okay, we're done.
Like 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah. 20 years. Yeah. At the end of August or August 22nd, they're going to be done. So the 4 weeks before that, you just start the last season. If you wanted to get one achievement, you had to play every single day, do like one thing, and then the rest of the days you did to finish up the weekly stuff. And so I did that, and I got that last achievement.
Of course you did.
The second to last achievement, and then I got the same day, the same morning, I got the final one that I had been trying on forever, and I got that. So I finished that completely. And then I went back and started up Forza Horizon 3 again, which I had played, and it came out in 2016. So my son used to play it when he was like 3 or 4. That was his first game he ever played. I just hand him a controller and he'd just hold down the trigger and just drive like through the fields and just drive. And that's what he liked to do. So he probably got a lot of the achievements for me, just like by driving.
Unlocking zones and
Yeah, exactly. So
he didn't unlock the roads for you, but the zones, yeah.
Well, I mean, he might have. He may have
crossed a road here and
accidentally. Yeah. So I'm going back and I'm getting as much of that stuff as I can. There's one DLC that you can no longer get, and the only way to get it is to basically get the Ultimate Edition with the code for it in like a sealed copy, which are going for like $120. So I will not do that for the one DLC. It's fine, but the rest of it I will probably get, and most of it I think you can still get because some of the stuff's online, but the servers are all P2P, so you can pretty much get them all.
I went back and you can't get those achievements. Like you go to bed at night and you're like,
just stop talking about it. Just stop talking about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Didn't you cross the threshold? I thought I saw another tweet by you that you crossed over 200,000 or something.
Yeah, I got 200,000, but I got 200,000 with you guys. I just hadn't posted it on True Achievements, so I forgot to update my status on there. But yeah, I'm like 202 now. So
Left 4 Dead pussies melts them.
What can I say? Left 4 Dead 2. I went back. I had 2 achievements. One was for the beating one level on realism, like the hardest on realism, which means that if you die, you're dead. I did that, and now I've got the one for the 4 beating all of them on expert, which I'm going through and doing that. And then I'll have all those, which I kind of always wanted to get because I love Left 4 Dead. I did the first one completely, and the second one I had 2 left, so I'm finishing that, but I still haven't finished those. And I also went back and picked up The Expanse again, the Telltale game, which I just, it's one of those games where you just kind of play through it for story. And so far, so good. I just went through the first level of that. I think there's 5 of that. But I love that show, so it's interesting to play the game for me. It's sort of like, I think it's set after, I can't remember. It's one of the main people that are in the show is the main character of the game. So if you like the show The Expanse, check out the Telltale game because it's decent, and I think you can probably get it pretty cheap now. I think I bought it for full price because I wanted to support them, but I think at one point it might have been on Game Pass. I can't remember. Either way, I'm sure it's on sale sometime. So
yeah, I actually didn't realize that Telltale made a game of that because I enjoyed the TV show. I mean, the science behind the show is very, from what I can tell, very accurate and pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're like their science is like, well, if you're going like light speed and then all of a sudden you stop, you're all just gonna splat in the front of the inertia, it's stuff like that where it's like real science. I mean, to the extent that it can be, and yeah, it's a really good show, and the ending
totally
is
achievable. Yeah,
they don't do light speed, but if you did do that, it would. If you're going really fast, you have to slow down, otherwise you're gonna kill yourself. So it's it's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's just enough mystery in that show to keep you going and watching it. It's pretty good. So highly recommend these fans. Old show, but I recommend it.
Never watched.
Yeah, it's based on the book. It's based on a book series, and the book series had I think they went through the first 2 trilogies, and there's a 3rd trilogy that they didn't do, and it got canceled. I keep hoping they will bring it back somehow, but I don't know.
Like
Ted did pretty well. Yeah. Well, it's different than that. I mean, in a way that Ted Lasso is super, super popular. Expanse is very popular for a sci-fi show. So
yes, for the geek community of the sci-fi area.
How about you, Derek? Did you play anything?
I was trying to think of this, and it's been 3 weeks, so I guess technically I did. I did some more of the Atari thing a few weeks ago. I also have a new thing that I'm kind of working on getting set up that I kickstarted, which is an actual bow and arrow, but you either use it with a VR headset, like the MetaQuest, or you can mirror your iPhone to an Apple TV, and it does all the tracking and everything else, but it has the tension and everything else. So I'm just starting to get set up, but I have a feeling I'm going to try to play a lot of that because I used to be quite the archer in my youth, and then I have not done a lot of archery in probably 25 years. So
back in your Boy Scout days?
Well, yes, back in my Boy Scout days, yes. So yes, and I also did some in college because there was you could take an elective that was that. So yeah, but
nice.
Yeah,
that sounds really interesting.
That's on my list. I'll report more on it when I actually get to it. But yeah, Tiff's like, why'd you back that? You can buy like a compound bow for $300. And I was like, no, this is totally cool. Yeah.
Oh, so it was more than you could actually buy with an actual bow and an actual arrows.
Yes, yeah. But I don't have to go outside. I can do it inside. So yeah. But yeah, it seems cool. And it's yet another thing to add next to the Ouya. So yeah.
I've been still going through fixing up my consoles, so I've been playing some of those on and off just to kind of make sure they're working okay. I'm still working on a 3DO and I finished the SNES, so that's done. And a Game Gear, which I can't get going. Yeah. Super. Yeah. SNES. Yeah. You know the acronym. Good for you. Finished that for my buddy, and I still have to fix the Xbox original I was working on, which for some reason I'm getting a frag boot, which is just like flashing red and green after I put in the HDMI. So I think that it's something's crossed there. I got to fix that. I also went through and I got a fight stick for my portable analog pocket to do for because Joe Tego, which is this company that
I'm sorry, I just thought that was
what
flight stick for his analog pocket.
Sorry,
boy, that can be taken really bad.
Put that. Oh yeah,
fight stick, not flight stick, fight stick.
Oh, fight stick,
fight stick.
Yeah, that makes it better
for arcade games. For that, like the original arcade games that they've converted to run on analog pocket, so I can play those on the big screen with the stick. And I modded it. I put some good buttons in it. I have it here. I don't know if you can see this or not.
Sort of ish.
Can't see
I
it.
can see whatever part your hands are
you can't.
near.
Yeah, you can't see it.
It
Anyway,
looks sick. Yeah.
Put a new,
It's got a stick. It's good.
Put a new stick on that. Put new buttons. So that's what I've been doing.
Nice.
With that.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that, why don't we hop on over the new releases, which are 3 weeks apart and both very pertinent. The new release out 3 weeks ago was Star Wars Bounty Hunter Remake, out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Switch, and the PC. Now, we all probably played this way back in the day.
It's familiar.
Did anyone pick this remake up?
No.
No. Was it on? Oh, it was on PlayStation 2 and GameCube. So no, I did not play this because I didn't have either one of those really. Well, I had the GameCube just later and I'd play it. Did you play it?
I played it back in the day, yeah.
Good.
I played just
decent.
about everything back in the day. And now I play nothing. The irony. Yeah.
Well, I will probably check this. I might check this out if it goes on sale, like the remake. I mean, the original one seems like it was pretty well received enough for them to make a remake of it. So,
all these years later,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't really even on my radar because I'm waiting for the other new title that we're going to talk about.
All right, speaking of that,
what title is that?
Next new release out this week is Star Wars Outlaws, out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, and the PC. This has been long awaited out of Ubisoft. It's our background image today, even though it's not really a quality background image. All the other ones had watermarks that said developer preview or this or that or some stupid shit. But at least you can see the girl on the speeder bike and some TIE fighters in the background, and there's some atmosphere. But yeah, this is the game the world's excited about.
This, I need to play I need to finish the previous one first. And then I will play this. I have not yet, but this looks cool. This is more open world though, right?
I think so. Yeah, that's from what I gathered. I know all the reviews dropped today, but I didn't want to read any to get any potential spoilers. But the early copy reviews are out now, and it seems to be overwhelmingly popular. So.
Looks like that's out on the 30th. So by the time people listening to the audio version, it should be out.
Yep.
But if you're here today, it's out in 4 days.
Yep.
So,
but the fact that they even unembargoed reviews this early, obviously
good. Good sign.
It's a good sign. Yeah.
Disney's been on quite a little streak, and I think this is definitely going to add to their revenue because they got the 2 movies that are out. The
Inside Out.
Inside Out 2, is that the movie that's out right now? It's doing great money, and
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool is doing a lot of good money. So, if you were a Disney investor, I think you're happy with the trilogy they're releasing right now in the summer. So I think this game's gonna make a lot of bank. I think I've been looking forward to it. So
yeah, me too. Believe it or not, yeah.
So can I get political here for a second? Not really political, but can I get into it for a second?
Sure. Go ahead.
All right.
All comments are
views of Shadow
owned by Shadow at Brian Likes Games. Yes. All right. Go ahead.
Do it. Yeah. So this game and also Fable recently, the new Fable that they showed, people online have been bugging the crap out of me. Asshole men who are like, oh, why are they? She's so ugly, or the other girl's so ugly. I'm like, they're not ugly. They're regular looking people. They are not supermodel looking, and that's fine. Yeah. They're just people.
It would be massively unrealistic to see like a Barbie, like a Margot Robbie look. No, that's not even realistic.
It just bugs the shit out of me every time I see that. I'm like, what are you? It's just the assholes online talking just shut up.
Yeah.
That's all I want to
I'm not even sure that was political. It's just like
that wasn't even a hot
it's not
take.
Really it's not even political really, but it can be. Everything can be political these days.
Some weird guys want to combine their gaming with their jerking off, and this obviously doesn't meet their expectations. So
So do you worry about how good looking the men are who are in games that you're playing? No, you don't care.
Yeah, well, Genshin Impact just won Game of the Year over there at the Euro game show, and that's nothing but pedophile game.
No.
I don't really know that game, so
there's
okay.
different strokes out there for different folks, and some are legal and some are not. So yeah.
But anyway,
we err
get off my soapbox.
The legal side. Yeah, I thought you were going to go all Trump or something. I didn't know where you were going with that when you gave us the disclaimer. So yeah. Your hot take was a cold take, like Sultan said.
I should have just said hot take. That's what it was. But just everyone worried about the looks of the women in games. You just shut up.
See,
that's my opinion.
My seal of approval.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sultan didn't approve, so we know how he sits. Sultan's got one hand down his pants right now. He's playing Tomb Raider. I told you, Sultan, it was going to happen at some point, and that was the time.
All right, goodbye.
No, Sultan,
come back. All right. Well, on that, why don't we hop on over to gaming news? Some of this is newer, some of this is older. There hasn't been a lot of gaming news since Gamescom. I did replace a bunch of these stories. But some of these you may have heard, some you may have not have, but we'll go from there. And I'm going to take the controversial one that picks on Selden's game. EA CEO says studio needed generative AI for EA College Football 25 development. Now, this is very controversial in the gaming industry. People don't like to replace humans with generative AI. It's just a natural thing. No, none of you guys want to be replaced with generative AI. You want to have your jobs. So Sultan,
I want to be that fat kid in the floating chair and the airship and Wally.
Yeah, I was going to say
headset
Wally,
on and everything.
So Sultan, defend EA.
Giant sip cups and giant bags of chocolate, doing nothing.
How would that be different than today?
No, not really.
Oh, wow.
No, I had actually said this a while ago that I think this is where the industry is moving, and you guys said no. I said that I think AI is going to be doing a lot of the programming going into the future, with coding and character development and cross-platform programming and stuff like that. And it was just the next step.
No?
And the way this is happening, I mean, it's happening across the board. There's other companies that have hinted that they're using generative AI to develop some of the non-player characters, monsters, and the things and stuff like that. And it didn't surprise me when the EA came out and said that they used it for college football to generate some of the stuff that's going on in the game, because it's a big undertaking. If they can pawn that off. Now, I know that, Derek, this definitely hits you close, being in the industry of the IT development and stuff like that. You don't want to see jobs lost to this. Nobody wants to see jobs lost to this, but it's where the industry's going. It's not just within video games that AI is taking over jobs and doing some of those tasks, but it's happening. So,
I know, and it's a big part of our business in my real job, where we make super high speed coherent optics, and for AI, we have a partnership with NVIDIA where they have all these GPUs, and they need to be able to GPUs started as graphics cards, and then all of a sudden they became coin miners, and now they figured out AI is the sweet spot. But because you need so many of these things working in conjunction, now you need to connect these with ultra high speed optics so that they can share data between this giant AI cluster that's all working on a singular problem, and then push it back. And so my company's benefiting from AI, but at the same time, there's been layoffs in areas that are not AI. So it's a double-edged sword, and I'm afraid that, especially in like a weak industry like gaming, that already they bring guys on almost like contract workers, because they bring them in full time and then lay them off as the release comes out. This cannot bode well for folks in that industry. So and PSA, like I said, don't ever go into you can like gaming all you want, but don't go code there. Code for a real company. So
yeah, this just reinforces what you've been saying for years. It's definitely not the place to go into at this point. So I'm like, especially with AI as creative as it is, you're taking a lot of the creativity portions out too. I'm like, so even if you want it to be the artist that hand draws the things that the coders have to code, you're going to be shit out of luck soon because AI is really taking a lot of this shit over. Yeah. You can have just some CEO saying, well, I want a troll-like creature that has 4 arms and 2 mouths and 1 eye, and it's going to generate it for you. You don't have to, and it's going to do it in seconds, whereas a visual artist or, is
you're going to have to go back and forth, have iterations and everything else, and
So it's a dangerous field to go into, so stay out of it if you can.
I mean, I think they will need fewer people, probably. They will still need people to do other things than that, and they can move into those roles possibly. But I think over time, they will need fewer people for the same amount of work. Although games are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, so even if they do have AI, they're still going to need people to do some things. But I mean, technology and progress just keeps moving forward. It's the same thing with like people who are worried about coal and oil and whatever, and things are going to solar. Well, then you might not have a job in oil or coal, but then you can have a job in solar. So things move to other things. So I don't know. I mean, it's just over time, it just changes.
Yeah, things migrate. But it's still not a good time.
Sucks to be being in the middle of it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know.
All right. Next
I don't
story.
know the future.
Sure, we hinted at this before, but let's go with this one. Xbox wades cautiously into a multi-platform future. We all knew that Xbox was announcing that they're going cross-platform with 4 titles initially, but they hinted that there could be more titles coming in the future. Well, they released recently that Indiana Jones will be a launch title, I believe, or it will launch on PS5 at some point. Maybe in 2024, maybe 2025. Not really sure yet.
Spring. They said spring 2025.
Oh, okay. Did they say
not
that
actually date then? Because Xbox is
out
December.
December 9th. Yeah. So they're like spring.
So this has got a lot of the Xbox fanboy fan base up in arms because they're now questioning why they even need an Xbox. But I think that the Xbox ecosystem is still, alive and vibrant and will survive in the future, even though they're going cross-platform with us. We argue, we talked about it before that, cross-platform is really, if they want to make bank on their Activision acquisition, they're going to have to go cross-platform with a lot of these titles that they originally weren't going to or would have been exclusive. So the end result's a long way off before we see if this plan works or not, but I think it's a good move still. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I more customers equals more money, especially where most of your customers are already sucked into Game Pass. So yeah, I'm all for this.
I think that I see both sides. I mean, I'm for them doing this so that they can stick around and make the games they want to make. But also, I do see it from the side of, well, then why do we have an Xbox? Why did I buy an Xbox if I can buy a PlayStation, play all their games, and also play all the Xbox games? So what's the point of putting my money into buying an Xbox if I'm a new person going to buy a game system? I can play Xbox on the cloud, and I can play PlayStation, all their games, and all the Xbox games. So it sort of makes it like, what's the point of an Xbox anymore?
Better controller,
personally. Okay, well, you can buy a SCUF controller for whatever you want. But it says in this article that you pulled up, Microsoft doesn't care about the potential dampening of Indie's influence on Xbox sales. That's no longer the metric it cares about, nor the prize it has its eyes on. So it sounds like we don't really care anymore about Xbox necessarily. We care about putting our games out there and everything we can and making the money, and that's what we care about. But they are a company. They should care about making money. So I get that side of it.
Yep.
But I feel like they've kind of made it so that there's no really Xbox legacy anymore. It's just kind of like, all right, well, we're Microsoft. Our games division is Xbox, but it's on everything. So we call it, quote, Xbox, but there's not really a box that we care necessarily about. It's just everywhere. So,
yeah. But I mean, they could be playing the long game for Game Pass. Like, okay, we're going to put these games on PlayStation. You're going to pay $70, $80, $90, $100 for each game. Or you know what? You could just join the Xbox Game Pass ecosystem.
Well, they're definitely doing that.
And for sure. Instead of paying for all these games individually on the PlayStation, you can get them all for a monthly fee of $20 a month.
Although they will probably still not be able to put the Xbox Game Pass app on PlayStation, so you'll still have to play it
use that
on
web
PC or
browser.
your TV or
Yeah.
whatever.
No,
Yeah,
you could use the old
Amazon.
web browser trick they used on iPhone for a while.
I play
Xbox.com.
I play it on my PC, streamed from the cloud. I played Forza when I was on my trip to Colorado. I played Forza on my PC. Just streamed it with a controller. It was great. It worked perfectly.
Yeah.
And it was just on Wi-Fi at my friend's house. It wasn't even, it wasn't like plugged in or anything. It was great. Good streaming.
No,
Yeah,
I'm really happy with the cloud gaming that's going on right now. But anyways, that's away from the point of the article.
Yeah, I mean, I could see how people would be like, "Oh, this is supposed to be their one. Oh, this is going to be the big one. It's going to be just Xbox exclusive." They said it. They said it's not going multi-platform.
And
cool. Well, then I have an Xbox, and now I'm proud to have an Xbox that I get this game. And now it's spring 2025. It's like giving up, I think, to a lot of people.
No, it's a timed exclusive. It's
barely timed. 6 months tops.
Yeah, but think about all the things we bitched about, like in the Destiny era, where it was like, yeah, you don't get this for 3 months. We're like, fuck, no Gallahorn? Like, it was
that's just DLC.
That was a year. Come on, man.
That's DLC for the same game. I think that's dumb. But I mean, I listen to other podcasts, and a lot of them are like, good, I hate exclusives. Exclusives suck. That's fine. I'm glad they're not doing exclusives. But PlayStation's doing exclusives still. So it's like one of them's doing them and one's not, and the one who's not, then it's like, why even own that system? So I don't know.
But systems are like, I'm the last one that wants to admit this because I love buying lots of consoles, but
I do too now.
They're on their way out. Like it's you can play them on an Amazon Fire Stick. You can play them on a Samsung TV. You can play them on your PC. Like it's unfortunately, consoles are on their way out, and Microsoft has pivoted for this, and Sony has not.
We don't have a story for it, I don't think, but at Gamescom they showed off they showed it off previously, but they're gonna have these new boxes coming out this November, but it's just like an upgraded size and or discless, nothing like an X. Not like a not like
those pre-orders actually went out today. Not to be too coincidental.
There you go.
Bringing this up, but yeah.
So, but they're not enhanced. There's not anything extra. It's not like the middle console gen. It's just. But then it's not going to be
something out.
Yeah.
And then they're like, now it's cheaper.
Charging you more,
and put 2 terabytes in, and but then the PS5 is going to have the PS5 Pro, so they're gonna, so then they'll have the more powerful console.
For now, still less powerful than a PC. So
it's true. Well, certain PCs, not mine.
No,
mine's from like 10 years ago. So
and you have a Mac.
I have a potato.
So,
No, my actual PC that I built 10 years ago.
Yeah.
If Microsoft keeps going, they're going to have the most powerful servers that'll trump the powerful console.
Yep. That's true.
Stream off their most powerful servers.
That's true.
How many teraflops does their server have compared to this?
Yeah, they don't even sell that as a console. They can just have those
53 teraflops. I don't know.
All right, next story.
Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will soon cost $240 a year. I think it already does, maybe.
This was before that. The soon is
that's right.
Past tense. Yeah.
But this deal drops it to $143. Looks like
deal's still live. I double checked it today before I left this in the outline. So yeah.
There you go. Is this the one is this Woot?
Yeah, this is Woot. Yeah, you bought something.
I was just thinking of Woot today. That's funny. I was like, I remember there was those deal sites, but Woot. That's where I got my TiVos back in like 2005.
Yeah, that's where I got my TiVos. Yes,
that's where everyone got their TiVos.
I got my first TiVo for free.
They were refurbished and they were like $100 as opposed to like $500. I'm like, okay, I'll get one. I love the Woot.
The Woot app is great. Like, there's like
I didn't even know
Woot is no longer what it used to be. But
Yeah.
Woot is great. Like I get the daily alerts and deals and stuff like that every day. So I buy stuff off of Woot all the time.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if this is still live or not then. If
No, it
was,
is still. I double checked this
okay,
morning.
cool.
So yeah.
So yeah, it says it's you can get 30 days for $13. I know at CD Keys you can get it for like 11, so check there too. But I stacked
CD
3
keys
of
is where my
those.
go-to for the Xbox cards and stuff like that. Every time I
I
buy,
stacked 2 or 3 of those. I mean, you can't get years. You can only get 3 months, but you can
Yeah.
stack them up to
Yep.
3 years, I think.
Yeah, I
So,
bought 8 of these for like 300
yeah,
some bucks. So
you might as well. I
8
mean,
3-monthers.
yeah.
Boom.
And if you're going to be doing Game Pass, if you think you're going to be keeping Game Pass for that long, then just do it and just save a bunch of money.
I'm
So,
pretty sure once you start Game Pass, you keep it forever. That's just the law.
I mean, at this price, yes, for sure. But at $20 a month, it depends of how much you play.
I know we talked about this our last episode. Yes, yeah. What's the breaking point? Yes.
Yeah, I think 20 is like the top.
But once you're pot committed for a year, you're in for the year, so you're good.
There you go.
Yeah, but you look at it, like $20 a month for all the gaming that we do, compared to like how many other streaming services?
I'm talking about normal people.
How many other streaming services do you have that you're already paying $20, $25 a month?
I have all the streaming services, but you reap much more from Game Pass than the rest of us. You're like, oh, it's Dick Tip Warriors.
I'm gonna try everything.
I'll try Dick Tip Warriors. And then you're like, oh.
What, YouTube TV is up to like $70, $80 a month? Like,
yeah,
I switched from YouTube TV
I play more video games than I
stream,
watch TV.
So, yeah,
so
I'm
like, I play a lot more video games than I watch TV, and I'm paying YouTube TV still $70 a month or whatever it is.
Yeah,
switch DirecTV stream. Go for it. It's better than YouTube TV.
Now YouTube TV's got all my Ohio State football games coming up, and the football season starts this weekend.
There you go. But anyway, 11 to $13 a month you can get, or for 3 months, or no, per month. You can get them 3-month packs. Check it out, woot.com or CD Keys. So
one or the other
before they go away. Yeah, what they did with me, because they used to send me CD Keys used to send me like the actual key was just there as like text, and recently they've been sending me a picture.
Now it's just pictures of the back of the Xbox.
Yeah, it's like they just like scratch them off and then they just send them to you. And I don't know if it's so that people can't steal it. Like it's easier, it's harder to steal if it's just a picture instead of like you can't skim your.
I think it's just because they don't want to pay anyone to scratch it and then type it in.
It could be. I did have one issue recently when I bought 3 of them and one of them didn't work, but within like 24 hours they had sent me a new one that worked. So
yeah,
if that happens, just email them.
It's very sketchy. I'll have to say, I every time I buy something off CD Keys like that, it's very sketchy.
I know, you're like, am I really
man, I wonder how many of these cards are being like bought in India from scamming American senior citizens.
Like already fake cards that were mass produced and resold 100 times. Yeah.
I don't know. Every time I go there,
that's why I felt better about it.
Am I going to get it? Are they going to really send it to me? And they do. So, yeah, but Woot, I mean, Woot's probably a little less sketchy. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been there. But
Woot is owned by Amazon, so it's definitely a lot less sketchy than CD.
Really? Amazon? Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
they got bought by Amazon probably 10 years ago, if not more.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was about 10. Yeah,
that's when they used to be really, really good, but then they got bought by Amazon and it kind of
they became less
went
good.
to the shitter.
They used to have these crazy deals that were just insane, and then and it was just for geeks, and now it's for anyone that goes to Amazon. So
Sidebar: did you guys ever get one of the bag of craps from Loot?
I have many bags of craps from Loot.
I got one bag. I got one bag of crap from them. It was just such random shit that I got,
like figurines and collectible card games. You're like, I didn't even heard of this game.
I don't think I ever did. I remember them being there, and I remember when I was buying materials, they had the bag of crap every once in a while. Oh, maybe I should do it. I don't know what's in that. I don't think I've ever bought it.
The chances of getting one are very slim in the first place, and then the shit you get is really bad usually. Like I got playing cards, fishing lure, and like a bear spray holster.
It's not just a clever name.
And then some like
shitty
wire component, computer component wires that I have no idea what they went to.
But you might need them. Like you never know. Someone was like, "Oh my god, I got the wire that I couldn't find."
They go into that box of wires that everyone has.
Yeah,
maybe a pot holder.
I think I used it back.
I keep going through my bag of wires and like trying to organize it, and it just doesn't ever.
No, that's why we stopped. Tiff tried to put like all the things in bags, and then there's so many one-offs that it's just like No,
yeah,
that
it's
thing
like, well, what
only
does this go
exists.
with? I don't
This
know.
goes with this camera that
I
I
don't
had,
know, but I
like,
could
in
use it
the
sometime in the
late
future.
90s, and
Put
yeah.
put it in a Ziploc for camera stuff. It's one thing.
Oh. All right, next
Anyway.
story. New key fact. That's a not a key fact. It's a name brand news outlet. New key fact report says 75% of video game players in Europe are adults, which we knew way back in the day for Tool to Play, and the average age is 31. So average age in Europe is lower than the 35 that it was in the US, but 75% of people, it's not just more than 50%. 75% are over the age of or adults, technically. So, yeah, I think the industry keeps going in this direction. It's like, because I remember when Tool to Play, when we got interviewed by the Wall Street Journal, it was more gamers are more gamers are adults than they're not, and the average age was 35. But this is like 75%. This isn't 51%. This is 3/4 of gamers are adults, which is insane. And maybe it's because games price kids out. I don't know, but
I think what's more interesting is that, you see that stat initially, and I instantly think, okay, probably 85% of that percentage is probably playing mobile games, and they're called gamers. But you look at it further in the article, and it does say that console is 41%. Smartphone and tablets is also 41%. So you have just as many people playing video games on the smartphone as they are playing on console. So that was what caught me off guard in that article when I read it. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if part of it is because there's so much, I mean, it's the same percentage tablet, smartphone to console, is maybe the kids in Europe aren't given phones as early as they are here in the US, possibly, so they don't have them to play on. So maybe that demo maybe goes completely out. That may or may not be true. I don't know, but it seems like something that might happen over there compared to the US, because like even our kids don't have phones, but they do have tablets. So I don't know. My son has a watch. That's it.
Yeah. No, because I feel like not to counterpoint you, but I feel like Europe was way ahead of us on smartphone adoption and SIM cards and all this stuff. Like
for kids, though,
you have to figure if it's for adults, it has to be for kids too, right?
I mean, I don't know. Not us.
I don't know either. Like I'm not from Europe. I don't know. Selden?
I don't know. Well, I was in Europe in 90.
What do you think, Selden, with all your Europe?
Selden he's our German correspondent. Yes.
Well, my son was just over in Greece.
Yes.
Reporting live from
France.
Yeah. Kids on smartphones. No, the other thing that I found interesting, and this kind of backs it up now that I'm looking at, is on-demand streaming gaming. It's at 3% of those numbers. Which is kind of maybe why Microsoft was putting a bigger push over in Europe, because they want to get the cloud gaming going over there now too. So trying to get the foothold. And I mean, you increase 3% up to 15%, and that's a shit ton of subscriptions. So
that's a shit ton
I feel
of
like
money.
Not in every area, but I feel like some of the denser areas, like say Britain and London and things like that, same as Japan, they don't have a lot of space. A lot of the places are smaller. Because they're so densely packed, and the old buildings and stuff that are smaller in general, that maybe they don't have a lot of space for physical things. So streaming and on demand could be a really key thing there, and also smartphone, tablet. I mean, they do obviously have consoles still, so they are gaming on those, but are the consoles the Switch? Because that's still a console, but it's still kind of like a tablet, doesn't take up any space. So I don't know, it might be good for them.
Yeah. I mean, from just my feeling in the past is PlayStation's huge over there in Europe. So I think the Wii was always considered like an American thing, but I could be completely wrong. So
probably.
Well, we outsold everything everywhere, so I don't. Not everywhere. I don't know if it outsold in. I mean, it did really.
Yeah, I don't know my
European
European metrics very well, so.
But yeah,
interesting info.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
Next story.
Sounds
unprepared.
No, I don't know if I really wanted to talk about it, but I will. The next Destiny game, codenamed Payback.
This is in your wheelhouse. Why would you
canceled.
not want to do this?
Because
it's been canceled.
It's just too much rumors going on about this. Bungie is reportedly going to keep on supporting Destiny 2, but it seems like they may have canceled the upcoming game that would take place of Destiny 2 called Payback. They're still working on Marathon, I believe, also, right?
The remake?
Supposedly.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a remake or re-envisioning of Marathon, but it's unfortunate if there was a game that was in development called Payback that would have replaced Destiny, because Destiny 2 was a great game, had a long lifespan, Destiny and Destiny 2. It would have been interesting to see where this was or what this was, but if it's been canceled, oh well.
No, Selden's really heartbroken.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah,
it's sad it's sad how far we've fallen off of Destiny, just because we all loved Bungie and we were really into Destiny 1 originally, and then it kind of went downhill from there.
Well, they fucked us with Destiny 2. They're like, oh, all your progression, fuck that. Yeah.
Like, you can't play Destiny 1 anymore. It's like pretty much impossible, right? All the stuff's gone.
Yep.
So
yeah, and I know a few weeks ago we had that story about the layoffs coming about Luke Smith and Mark
Noseworthy.
Yeah, I think it might have been on our docket to do this time, but Bungie is really falling off, and we kind of talked about it when somebody put the screws to them and saying, hey, if you don't produce, we're gonna take you in the house and fuck y'all. So
yeah, times have changed. The bell of the ball is now the ball sucker of the bell.
Yeah, I don't think Bungie's they're not even a skeleton crew of what they used to be at this point, with the original talent and
who's even
direction that they had before.
Yeah, so. Luke Smith was one of the big names that went from like Halo days through Destiny to PlayStation. Now he's gone, so yeah.
You had drinks with him before, right?
Yeah. Oh, that was a setup. Yeah, sorry, I missed that. Yeah. But yes, we have many times. So yeah.
But yeah, R.I.P. Bungie. It was nice knowing you.
All right. Last story.
So Gamescom was this past week, and I don't know if it's still going on or not. Is it? Or are they done?
I think it's over now. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure it's done.
So yeah, I think it's done. But there were a lot of games announced, a lot of things announced. I just had this link here to kind of go through if you guys wanted to skim through, see if there's anything that pops up that you want to mention or talk about. We don't need to go through them all, but like for instance, Borderlands 4 was announced, which I like Borderlands. I have not seen the movie because everyone knows it sucks. And so I haven't seen it. But I figured Borderlands 4 was kind of a foregone conclusion eventually, and all of a sudden now it's going to be next year. So the little teaser looked cool, I guess. I mean, it looks like Borderlands, probably. So I'm excited for that next year. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I don't think any of us care about that necessarily, but it's out in November. Goat Simulator Remastered. Everyone's gonna love that, right? Yeah.
I was clamoring for this.
Yeah.
I must have written them 100 million emails. So.
I like Goat Simulator, but it needed to be remastered, So I figured... Cool.
Yeah, I played Goat Simulator 1, and it was a little janky with the tongue lick that would fling you across the map. So yeah, they definitely needed to remaster that the blocking that would happen during the game.
Yeah.
I don't know why I played. I might have 100% at Goat Simulator 1, so
maybe.
I don't know why I played it. It was so bad.
Awesome. I saw this game and I didn't know what it was, and I thought it looked really cool. Dying Light: The Beast, which is just, I guess, brand new 20-hour adventure set in Dying Light universe. I've never played Dying Light at all, but I just thought this looked cool, and then I go, oh, it's Dying Light. Well, maybe I'll give it a shot. I don't know. It says it's starring Kyle Crane from the original game, which if you've played it before, you know who that is. I don't, but it looks like it could be cool. Dark Pictures Anthology Directive 8020. This is the series that always has like horror games, and they keep having more and more of them come out. I haven't played one yet for some reason. It seems like it'd be kind of in my wheelhouse, but I feel like there's so many of them, I don't really know where to start. I don't know if I should just jump in on the new thing or if I have to go back and play them all, which I doubt I have to do. But any of you guys played any of the Dark Pictures Anthology stuff? No.
Not a single one.
Seems like they come out like every year, so that could be cool. I was looking at this Lost Records Bloom and Rage. It's by the creators of Life is Strange, which I'm definitely in for that.
Yep.
February 18th, part 1, part 2 is March 18th, which seems weird. Hopefully it's not like you're paying for it twice. Hopefully it's like you buy it and it just comes out in installments. I don't know. Do you guys see anything here that you thought looked cool?
I think the name of King of Meat sounds cool, but it's a Fall Guys kind of one of those type of games. So and like they really put out there on Front Street King of Meat. So and I consider myself the King of Meat. So
sweet.
Yeah.
How about you, Sheldon? Anything you saw that looked good for Gamescom?
No? I was on the road. I didn't really get a chance to watch a lot of stuff. So I just got like some of the big headlines that ran across, but I didn't watch any videos or anything like that. So I really can't comment on it. I have to catch up on a lot of stuff on that.
Yeah.
So
I got to watch a lot of videos too. I just kind of was going through this looking. I know that Reanimal looks like it could be good. It's by the guys who did Little Nightmares. They're also doing Little Nightmares 3, which is supposed to be out next year, I believe.
Oh, that looks weird and creepy.
Dune Awakening, MMO for Dune Awakening. That could be good. I don't really play MMOs, but Civ 7, of course. There's a new Batman game, Batman Arkham Shadow, which is VR though. So if you have VR, there you go. I don't have VR though. Mm-hmm. There you go. One thing I'm very excited for is Secret Level, which is a new TV series. It's like it's an anthology series, kind of like by the people who did, I believe, the people who did Love, Death, and Robots. But it's about video games. There's like 10 different video games or so that they're going to focus on. It's all going to be different ones kind of mixed into it. Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime, so that's going to be coming out December 10th, pretty soon.
Everybody's got that shit. So
that looks really cool. Squid Games, Indiana Jones, of course. And if you like Mafia, there's going to be a new Mafia game coming out, which is like an origin story, I guess, The Old Country. So that's going to be more details will be revealed in December, not a trailer or anything, just more details. It's a new thing where they're like, here's this image, and then we'll tell you more about it later, and then we'll tell you more about it later, and then 3 or 4 years later, and it's finally coming out. Just keep you on the hook. But yeah, some good stuff at Gamescom. I mean, it's no E3, but there was a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely no E3. Fuck them.
That was for you.
Oh, thanks.
That was for you. Yes, yeah. Yep. That's all I got.
All right. I did have one other thing I wanted to bring up real quick and see what you guys thought about it. Besides games, the European Game Show just ending. We also just ended the Esports World Cup. Now, this isn't the Olympic World Cup or whatever esports that they were talking about bringing in. This is, I guess, this Esports World Cup that's been generating. It had a lot of the professional teams and stuff like that we know, FaZe Clans. A lot of the city teams were over there. But just wanted to run down the titles, which kind of some of them surprised me, and the prize pools for these tournaments. I guess this took place over in one of the Middle Eastern, Saudi Arabia, somewhere around there, countries. Mm-hmm. But just your thoughts real quick. Like the big name games are going to be there: the PUBG, the Rocket League, Modern Warfare 3, StarCraft, Fortnite was there, Street Fighter. But then there was also, which really surprised me, is that the not PUBG Battlegrounds, the PC version game, that had a prize pool of $2 million. But the PUBG Mobile had $3 million as the prize pool, which I'm like, really? The mobile version of it got $1 million more than the regular version.
It has potentially a bigger audience. So
yeah, I mean, I guess so. But it's like, each one of these games, and they have, probably 12 to 15 games had at least, the average was probably like $1 million, $1.5 million in prize pools for each of these games. I'm like, holy shit. But like some games, like I think that surprised me that we're still as competitive. Apex Legends is still pulling down a $2 million prize pool. Overwatch 2 is pulling down a $1 million prize pool. There was Counter-Strike 2 still pulling down a $1 million prize pool. Of course, Dota 2 pulling down a $5 million prize pool. But it's just like, I was like looking at some of this, like League of Legends only pulled down a $1 million, Call of Duty Warzone $1 million. But I'm like, that's still, I mean, there's a lot of fucking money still going out in this World Cup. And, a lot of the big names, the FaZe Clan popped up all over the place as winners and stuff like. Did you guys really think that you'd still see some of these older games still pulling down these giant prize pools for these uber competitive, I guess, World Cup games?
No, it's crazy, right?
No. Yeah. I mean, is MLG still around? Is that a thing?
I'm not sure it is.
I don't think MLG is still a thing. They did have in the United States. They did have the professional sports league, esports league, where the cities each got a team and stuff like that. But I think most of those have faded away. Some of them still. I saw some of their names popped up as players in this game, so they're still operating, but they're not doing a competitive league within the United States. I don't think, at least.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, that amount of prize money.
Yeah,
they must really be making money somehow with it, because I mean, otherwise, what's the point? Yeah, jeez.
Huh. Like Counter-Strike 2, who would think that they'd still be pulling down? The top prize winner won
when did that even come out?
$400,000.
Like Counter-Strike 2 has been out for like since 2004. 2005.
Just mods upon mods upon mods. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah,
I agree.
I also,
if a tournament like the esports World Cup keeps going, I'm like, does the Olympic have a chance as pulling in players if there's no prize pool close to that? The Olympics probably generally doesn't have prize pools, right? I'm like, you just get a gold medal.
No, they get paid for the gold, the medals.
I think they get some sort of money. I don't know what though.
Yeah. So there is some...
not $400,000. I can't imagine.
It also depends on the country and how much they've raised and what they decide to distribute. And it's also based on taxes. Like one country set up like basically a GoFundMe in their country, whatever their GoFundMe.
to pay the taxes.
And they were like, let's give these Olympians like the money they're due. And they're like, well, we paid taxes and that's where that money's supposed to come from. And there was a lot of backlash on that. So, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. It seems kind of crazy, but I mean, they must be making money. Otherwise, they wouldn't be giving out all that money.
Yeah.
Well, it's true.
So
too.
Good for them. It is really interesting that this is still going like that after 20 years. For Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah. Like, what better way to keep making money and to make it off of like a game that you made 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Like,
you don't have to do anything.
Yeah. It's just free money. So.
Yeah.
All right. On that, if you have stories that you want us to talk about next week, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@toolplay.com or comment in this episode thread on the Tool Play homepage. And sponsors. If we had them, we'd pimp them, but we don't, so we won't. But if you want to sponsor the show, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related, twitter.com/tool2play. Everything podcast related is at twitter.com/still_got_game. Facebook the fuck out of us, facebook.com/tool2play. We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/tool2play. That is like your ultimate archive of all Tool to Play content. You can go there. You can watch this show live. You can go watch Hits Quick Hits. You can watch Tiff's immature interviews. You can watch any show. Selden, do you have any recommendations?
No, you can watch all of our back episodes that are recorded on YouTube TV. That'd be awesome.
Okay, yeah.
On YouTube TV.
Yes, somehow we made it to the big leagues now. So yes, yeah. Well, if we're talking about just YouTube.com, then Selden had a show there too. So yeah, go there, watch that show. Please rate and review the podcast on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. You get an extra 5 seconds. Write something nice. It would really mean a lot to us. I'm not sure how those iTunes reviews stack up anymore, but we probably need iTunes reviews. We probably need shitty Amazon, Samsung, whatever the fuck they call their bullshit Android app store, fake phone podcast shit. Go rate and review us there. Rate and review us on Spotify. Rate and review us on iHeartRadio. Rate and review us wherever you get this podcast. Just rate and review us there.
Yeah, you know what? Create like 4 or 5 separate emails and just share it to those extra emails to get the extra shares. Like,
see, Selden knows all the hacks. That's how he get his cam show up so much. Yeah. All right. We also have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/still_got_game. We have a Discord. That's discord.me/still-got-game. That's discord.me/still-got-game. 2/3 of the hosts are there all the time, just interacting with the audience, like constantly chatting. 1/3 of the hosts, Selden. No, that 1/3 is me. I'm not there that often. And our previous hosts, they also join there and our community. So just jump in there, join the community chat, talk about games, talk about gaming news, talk about whatever you're playing. It's a great place to find like-minded individuals. So on that, Selden, you got anything you want to pimp personally this week?
No, unfortunately, I've been out of the loop recently, but you can just check out my link tree at Selden007 and see what my links are there.
Fair enough. Shadow?
I would say with school starting up, kids going back, I would say support your local teachers. Send them some supplies, send them some gift cards for supplies, and help them out with time and money if you can. They need your help. A lot of the stuff they have to buy on their own, and so it can really, every little bit can help. So I'd say support your teachers this week or this month, starting back with school.
Fair enough. Well, I would say, well, as always, all my shit's linktree/Derek Nolan. That's linktr.ee/Derek Nolan. But on top of that, I would like to say, lately in the news, there's been a lot of stories of just women that have been wronged either by society, by men, by any number of means. So look into those charities and throw some money their way. Like I know when we donate our furniture, we donate it to a place that basically you donate it there, and battered women can come in and they're building a new life, and they have an apartment or whatever, and they can just go get furniture there for free. And I just think that's a great place to put your money, because you hear all the time these horror stories on the news, and I feel like it's just something great to do. So that's where I'm going to throw my non-tool to play, non-Derek Nolan support, is just battered women and women that have just been through the ringer, and just something for them to help restart their lives. So
good stuff. Yeah, we have a local place in Chicago called the Brown Elephant that you donate things to, people buy it. It's kind of like a Goodwill type thing, but the money goes to help people in need, and also I believe Habitat for Humanity also does that. So yeah, good call, Derek.
Thanks. Yeah,
I'm not trying to
come up big. So
yeah, I'm not trying to take away from it, but make sure you do your research on where you're donating, because some of these donation places say they're donating to profits go to whatever, but they only send like 2%. So you really want to look at, don't trust what they say. Do your research when you're donating, because nothing's worse than all of a sudden realizing that you donated thousands of dollars of stuff and they gave $2 to the thing and they were claiming them as them. So
for sure.
Yeah. So at least the one I mentioned, it's not like they're selling the stuff and giving the money. They actually take your furniture and give them to the people. So cool. At least if they're passing on physical goods, you can assume they're not cutting off like half the sofa and giving it to them. So, all right. So I just took us on a down note, so I'm going to try to bring us back up. I want to remind you, you can join us each and every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at youtube.com/tool2play, facebook.com/tool2play, and twitch.tv/still_game, and kick.com/still_game. I know it gets too confusing with the underscores and not. And we're not on Twitter right now because Elon wants us to pay a lot more to be able to stream there. So, all right, on that, why don't we wrap this? Hey, August was a month episode up. I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Chris Selden, 007 Selden.
I'm Brian Shadow Emmerich.
And next week's Labor Day, so there's probably no show, but we'll be back the week after that.